Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today's a really exciting day because we've got the white Chaser on the lift, and this is the last time that you're gonna see this thing with a 1J NA engine and a lot of other things on this car, because Daiki is gonna start tearing this thing apart and getting it ready for us to essentially shell swap the pink Chaser, which is out the front. You excited?
Exciting. やばいね。
It's a lot to do.
Yeah.
But our plan is when this is ready to accept its new height, is we're gonna move these off the lift and then we'll put the pink Chaser there, and that way we can just kind of take it all out and throw it into that. And Daiki's gonna do it all in 24 hours.
いや、それは無理。
The pink Chaser is already here on the truck. Daiki did an awesome quick trip up to Ebisu to pick it up. It's crazy how much more damaged it is in the front end than I remember it, but I was pretty upset when the crash happened and I just kind of parked it and left it. And I mean, the other side is where it's really bad in the frame rail, but we'll dig into that once it's parted out. I'm pretty stoked to actually repair this and give it a good raw hot go myself, but we'll also get Marco to help us out, of course, as well. But I reckon we'll be able to save this thing, and the rear end's also super sad, but I mean, for what we're planning to do with this, I think it's going to be perfect. But for now, let's let Daiki do his thing and start ripping into this Chaser. Update, Daiki got the trans out, and look at all that oil and stuff caked up on the transmission. We thought the rear main was leaking when we were finding oil puddles here, but it turns out, we grab this flashlight here, it's the valve covers pouring out oil from up top on that corner there. I wouldn't be surprised if the valve cover's cracked. That's a thing that these things do. Oil's been pouring out from the top all the way down this engine, down through here, and making it look like a rear main. Look how disgusting that is. It's so caked in there. Look at that. This is probably the first I've seen of something this bad. Oh my gosh. That's honestly impressive. Huh. This thing's gonna get a pressure wash for, I don't know what to do with this engine, to be honest. I don't know. Oh yeah, you can see it all up there too. I don't know how well you can see it there. It's dripping down. It's all there too, underneath the manifold. Dang. That's crazy. Good oil leak from the valve covers. I just slid the torque converter off, and look how filthy this is. There's like grass chippings, wood chippings and stuff in here. I think a mouse had a little nest in here, and then when this thing got fired up, it got shaken for sure. It definitely went around the merry-go-round a bit. This is kind of impressive, to be honest. I've never seen this much like debris and stuff inside a transmission. And like how much is caked on here that we saw before, it makes a lot of sense, to be honest. It's pretty wild. Honestly, it's impressive. Anyways, we got this thing out. That's the main thing. It is now time to pull the motor. Let's see if we've gotten everything disconnected, and there's nothing that we've forgotten. Looks like I think we're gonna be a-okay. Just looking at everything. Tuck that hose in there so it doesn't get stuck. All right, start pulling her up. All right. You gotta plug the air in. Time to say goodbye to the 1J. VVTi NA. All right. Oh, they all do this, hey? Every single one of these engine mounts fails just like that. All right, bring her up more. Yeah, power steering hose, yeah. All right, bit more. Okay, stop. Pull it back this way. Yeah, just like that. And then should be able to just make sure that power steering line's in here. Okay, go up. Yep. Keep going. Keep going. Looks like. Get some minor screwdriver and we can do it. There's the starter motor wire here has to be disconnected from this clip. Perfect. Oh, this poor jack. There we go. All right.
How much are these engine worth?
Not much. They're the NA1Js.
$399.
No, I mean they're like $800 to $1,000 on Yahoo right now. Maybe a little more because people don't know what they are. But yeah, they're not like a sought after engine at all. The block can be used though, like you can just put the turbo heads on these, just like the GE blocks, so the 2Js. But then you still got to add oil squirters if you're not running ethanol and things like that. So it's good to have for parts, for accessories and things like that. There's a lot of stuff that obviously you can take off this and use, but for the most part, it's not a sought after engine. It's kind of the junk engine, right? The parts engine.
That's what you called the Bogan first.
Yeah, well, I mean, we had fun with it.
Yeah.
For sure. But yeah, this will be good to keep for spare because these with a turbo on there. I mean, if you're running ethanol, I've seen guys make 400 out of them, but yeah, it's just everything's different with the porting on the head. So your GE stuff doesn't match up with your turbo stuff. So if you end up going down that route of turboing this, then you're always stuck with a GE head. And there's arguments to both whether which is better and which is not, but it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Anyways, this looks good. Get this thing out. We can start getting this thing outside now and pressure wash the hell out of it. One interesting thing I found out is I found a Toyota Kyushu sticker on this. So
What?
it came from Kyushu. Yeah. There was a Toyota
Where?
Kyushu sticker on the bottom of the hood. And when we took the hood off, there's a Toyota Kyushu sticker. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it came from Kyushu, which is very far from here. Very, very far.
I mean, it's only a 2-hour plane ride, but
Oh yeah, but driving
and yeah, you might get a
take
volcanic
you
ash
like
on
2
your
days or something
plane.
to get there. Yeah. But also, it's just interesting because I think it may have been bought from Kyushu and then ended up somewhere up around here quite quickly. But yeah, for the most part, there's zero rust on the car, just dirty. So we just need to give this thing a good clean. But yeah, it's looking good. I'm really excited because we got the JZX series. We actually have the good rack. There's a fair few different rack setups in these. The GXs and the JZX compared to the GX has a different steering column and rack setup. They're actually a little different. So you got to make sure you get this one if you want to get the good right feeling one. Now that we've gotten the engine, driveline and everything out of this shell, we want to give it a good clean. So we're going to put the fronts back on it so that we can roll it. But we also want to clean this stuff up. I'm not entirely sure what I want to do with this motor yet. This trans I don't think I have any use for, but we're still going to clean it up because this is absolutely filthy. It's crazy to me that this wasn't even a rear main with all the oil that was down here. It was literally just valve cover gaskets. I was thinking maybe this was cracked because that's a big JZ thing too. The valve covers here crack and split and pour out oil just like this, but it looks like it was just a valve cover gasket, which I'm not surprised because like I said, this thing's done 247, like 250,000 kilometers, which really isn't that much for these engines. Like they'll last a long time if you give them good maintenance, but there's no sticker anywhere in the engine bay or on the valve cover or on the timing belt cover here that indicates that it ever got its timing service. And judging from looking at like the accessory belts and stuff like that, they're pretty old looking too. So there's a good chance this thing just maybe wasn't that well maintained. And that is probably why the valve cover gasket never got fixed. And they just, you know, yeah, like you can see there's some sludge going on in there. So not surprised. These cars were pretty much just, you know, owned by elderly people that usually just drove around and enjoyed them. You know, that's what the lordly spec was for. It was for the elderly guys, the guys that wanted some luxury interior. But anyways, they also just, hey, if you don't see a leak from the front of the engine, there's no problem. But you can actually see that this valve cover gasket's been leaking the whole way around this engine. The whole way, all the way around. So I probably just need a valve cover gasket and it'd be great. And honestly, you could probably just flush this thing out with decent amount of engine flusher, just one engine flusher, I reckon. Let it sit for 15 minutes, maybe do it twice. Fresh oil in this thing, and it'd be clean as inside after that, I reckon. But yeah, this thing definitely could have been maintained a bit better, but for the most part, looks really clean, all things considered. But yeah, the back of it, definitely time to give this thing a good old pressure wash, clean it all up. There's a chance I might just take this to Up Garage and just see what they give me for it, because I don't really have a use for this. And I already have another one of these in the Cresta. So yeah, and I also have another whole turbo motor in pieces over there too that I need to build. So things are kind of getting out of control and I don't really want to add to my hoarding pile right now. So I think that's what I'm going to do with this, but I don't know. If you guys have any ideas, let me know in the comment section and we'll see what we do. But I think this thing needs to go and get pressure washed first, clean off all this junk, and then that way it's somewhat clean and not going to dirty up my shop, and we should be good. I wanted to take the timing belt cover off just to get an idea of what the belt looks like, because then we'll really know if the maintenance is done on this, and then I'll feel a little better about selling it. Oh, okay, belt looks pretty, dude, there's so much oil everywhere in here. The valve, oh my gosh, the valve cover gasket is bad. Like it's leaking all in here too. Oh my gosh, the whole valve cover gasket, the full way around, there's oil everywhere in here. The belt's not split or anything, so the belt had to have been changed at the 100,000 mark. You can actually see a mechanic put timing markers here. So he's definitely been in there before. But yeah, otherwise I would say the cam seals are leaking and the full valve cover everywhere is leaking. Also looks like it's got a fairly new VVTi solenoid in here, or it's just that nice and clean. It's actually kind of really nice. Otherwise, everything looks good here. There's so much oil everywhere on here. I love that these have the instructions here in Japanese and English on how to disassemble or switch out the VVTi pulley for replacing it. Follow the procedure. So much oil in this thing, it's gonna get a bath. All right, we got all this stuff outside and we got the pressure washer set up. Got the stuff soaking in some degreaser and whatnot. I'm very curious to see how clean this is all gonna come up, especially this transmission is pretty rank. But let's have a look. We got all the holes and everything capped up, any kind of wiring loom, plugs, important stuff all capped up too. So it should come up pretty good. difference speaks for itself. I got completely covered in gross, oily gunk from this thing, but it's definitely worth giving this thing a good cleanup. I think the only thing I'm gonna take off this is the AC compressor, and everything else I don't think I need. I think I've got spares of everything else, but I mean, it would be nice, I'm not gonna lie, to just have this because of the lower oil pan and all that kind of stuff, the front oil pan for it that can be used. But honestly, I just don't need this lying around, and I can still get all those other parts quite easily. So I think I'm gonna go to Up Garage, show them a photo of this pallet and see how much they're gonna offer me. And that way I can just take this in tomorrow or whenever, and we'll see what we get. But this thing cleaned up really, really nice. And I think it's just an easy way for me to get rid of this and not have to wait like a couple months for it to sell on Yahoo. So tomorrow's job is going to be power washing this entire thing, getting this all scrubbed and cleaned up. So this is looking great. Taking out anything we don't need, like all the airbag sensors and all that kind of crash stuff in here that we won't need. Getting this thing looking amazing and clean so that we can start piecing together what we need to for putting in the turbo motor from the other car. And I really want to keep AC in this. I think it would be baller if we can keep AC in this car so that we can have that during summer Matsuri. But I'm torn if I should put the AC compressor on the engine from that, or I get one of those AliExpress electronic AC compressors and we rig that thing up. I don't know. And then maybe we have a condenser somewhere else in the car, like in the trunk or something. I don't know. But I'm also just like at the same point, like, screw it, who cares? Don't need AC, it's a missile. But just like, it would be nice, you know? It'd be nice to have a missile with ice cold AC. Am I the only one thinking that? But yes, Daiki somehow thought he had to remove the entire dash. So he started stripping everything in here because he thought the roll cage that was going in was through the dash. And then I had to explain to him that no, the roll cage I have goes in front of the dash, so we don't need to remove all this. So he's gonna have to start putting all of that back in. Oh boy, so funny. But for the most part, I mean, we did take off a bunch of parts that we don't need. Like, we're not gonna need the center console parts or anything like that, because that's actually going to have to get cut, and I've got to put in either a metal or fiberglass piece here, because the automatic one, the trans tunnel's too low. For the manual transmission, this needs to be like a big hump here, so we're going to have to modify that. So all this has to come out anyways, and we're going to pull the carpet and everything out, and then I'm going to get stuck with a bunch of parts. So if any of you guys actually need any of these parts interior wise, because all of this stuff is coming out, it would be a good opportunity to just, you know, reach out to us via the contact form on the website if you're serious, and we'll be happy to help you out. But for the most part, this is all going to get stripped and turned into the exact same that's in my other car. So I'm pretty stoked, to be completely honest. This thing's going to be real nice, and I get to kind of start from zero with my missile / practice car up at WC. So it should be fun. In other news, I saw like at least 6 or 7 comments asking me, what's this white S15 under my comp car? For those of you that I guess missed a few videos, this is Daiki's comp car. If you remember what it used to look like in lights, we did a whole build on this, and we did a 3.62J in here with the same kind of hot side setup, and pretty much tried to replicate everything we could the same way that's on my comp car on this, but we did the stock intake manifold. We actually got really interesting results. We were not able to push this stock intake manifold past 800 horsepower because the JDM one is much thinner than the USDM one, which is the full width of the throttle body flange here. Like, there's an extra 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches of space of the inside the intake manifold. So yeah, it was really interesting actually. But yeah, this thing, I think it makes like 850, 900. So it's pretty good. And Daiki's been competing with it in D1 GP this year, and he's been doing really, really well. He's actually part of Team G-Meister, and G-Meister is the company that installed all the graphics on my car and stuff like that too, like the livery. That's G-Meister prints and installs them. They also do design and stuff like that too. So I think Daiki's entire car was actually designed by Koji-san at G-Meister. But yeah, for the most part, everything in the car, everything about the car pretty much changed. And as you can see, weird D1 regulations and things like that, they make you have chicken wire here and stuff like that. It's very interesting comparing between FD regulations and D1 GP regulations. It's kind of interesting. Like, they make you put these aluminum strapping there, but like, you don't need that. And FD, and there's a ton of other weird things. Like this cracks me up because I have no idea what the point of this is here, but that's part of the regulations. Anyways, one day, hopefully soon, since we started our D1 journey, and we did really, really well in the D1 Next series. And I think if we compete and qualify again and win a couple battles, we'll already have enough points to get our lights license or something like that. I'm not entirely sure on the point system, but from my understanding, that's what we need to do. Or if we just podium or get 4th place, that's like, if you do that in one of the next rounds, you're like instantly in lights. So that would be super cool. But yeah, shop's a little bit of a disaster right now. There is so many chaser parts just everywhere. I'm probably gonna take this stock exhaust to upgrade too, because I reckon I get a couple $100 for it, but we're gonna take away the cat too, because I'm gonna sell the cat separately, of course. But if they don't give me anything for this, then I'll keep it, because we're about to do a huge scrap run. I have so many like broken aluminum wheels and all that kind of stuff. Right now is a really good time to sell any kind of scrap metal that you have lying around, because raw materials are going through the roof with the state of the economy and what's going on in the world right now. So it's a really good time to sell any of that type of stuff. And I've been storing and hoarding tons of it around the back of the shop. So it's a really good time to get rid of it. In other news, guys, I really don't know what to do with this K24A2 motor. This is a really good Absolute VTEC one. It's been sitting here for a while. I really want to get a Civic and put it in. Also, ignore the NOS bottles. But yeah, let me know in the comments, what should we do with this? Because I'm going to do something. And then I got my experimental RB20 Neo engine here that I want to do some cool stuff on and bring back the there's a 2.4 stroker kit that Tomei made back in the day, and I think we want to bring it back with this, but do a Neo version of it and just a really cool, fun build. Maybe this is what should go into the abandoned 32 out the front, but anyways, I'm sure you can also tell as well, there's a lot of stuff that I have to do in this area with all these SRs, and I've been really thinking about just doing live streams over the weekends. If I get all the on top of content and stuff like that, I can live stream assembling engines and do that on my weekends. And then that way I can catch up on everything. Things are just so hectic right now for me, but I'm learning. So much has changed in the last few years. It's crazy to look back at where we were and where we are now and just how much extra I've taken on. And I'm really working hard right now on trying to push myself so that I can unlock and grind a few things, so that then we're able to get at least another employee, so I can start handling, like hand stuff off, so my plate's not so full and I can start doing, you know, the things that I really, really enjoy again, if that makes sense. But anyways, guys, like, comment, share, subscribe. Really appreciate you guys for watching and getting all the way to the end of this video. If you made it all the way, let me know in the comment section with the secret pineapple word, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace. Jamata. Like, comment, share, subscribe.